Colleges are going to hell. Chael, here's an interesting take from the Boston Globe. They're flipping out about what Trump might do with their higher education system, namely eliminating DEI, transgender studies, stopping the indoctrination by left-wing academics. What do you make of this? Did you go to college?
Yes, I did. I got certified smart. And I will tell you, I knew it was a little bit of a hustle. I was there on a wrestling program, and my father told me you're going to have a great time, but above everything else, you get that piece of paper, but don't expect to learn things. And I always thought this was a joke in my house until I got out of there and realized there is no placement, and nobody's overly impressed with those degrees. And I just share for you, I like there's a pushback. Look, I'm going to be governor of Oregon a lot sooner than a lot of people in Oregon think. And I will tell you this, if you go to the military or trade school, you are going to give our state 20 years, and I will put you on a full retirement. If you go somewhere where you do not expect to sweat and or get dirty, you're going to do 30 years as they do now. And it's time that we start celebrating the guy whose kid built the school, not the guy whose kid went to the school, which just is an expression for getting drunk and going to football games.
Oh. The next governor of Oregon, if Oregon is still around.
That's right.
Yes,
That's
yes.
right. I would just, that was impressive. He breathed one time. That whole thing. Like that, sir.
Tyrus, my mother told me. My mother said, you've got to slow down. Do it more like Tyrus. She told me that in the back.
I think it was.
Mom, I get excited.
That was talking, not breathing.
You're right. You're right.
Tyrus, do you think there's a chance that this could happen?
What, him being mayor or governor of Oregon?
No,
Hell yeah.
That the colleges could change.
No. No. What? I'm still stuck on him being the governor of Oregon. I would move to Oregon.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
But what was the first question?
The topic was on colleges, Tyrus.
Yeah, I think it won't change because they have so much money. Mm-hmm. Putting a cap on funding now is almost too late. These universities have billions, and they might, we're going to eliminate one, but they're going to double down because what the woke, they don't think in our terms. They don't look past their nose. They're going to double down. They're now going to be victims again. They'll be virtue signaling. Now these teachers are going to be more extreme because now they're going to get all the cameras on them when they're dragged off campus or whatever. We saw deans of schools and supposedly, to your point, enlightened, not have the temerity or the courage to stand up to people standing outside attacking Jewish students. So when they lose their funding, they're just going to double down for we got 4 years to wait this out. So no, I don't think it's going to hurt them because it will hurt the people who need it. Mm-hmm. It will hurt the people who can't afford to go to college who need that funding because they're going to keep it for themselves. So that's the problem. That's the problem I feel.
Doc, you were the first, probably one of the first to call out the malignant ideology infesting college campuses. Can they be saved?
Well, I saw some statistics today that indicated that Harvard, for example, the faculty were 99% Democrat. Mm-hmm. And that in itself isn't necessarily catastrophic, although at the moment it seems quite catastrophic. How did they change? Because the faculty is radically on the left, mm-hmm. and the administration is far more radically on the left, and there are far more people in the administration than the faculty. And so even if they wanted to change, well, what are they going to change their opinions? I don't think so.
Right.
Where are they going to find the people to replace them? And I also have a suspicion that maybe the entire model is broken, because when you see an entire system die everywhere at once, mm-hmm. rot everywhere at once, you have to ask yourself if that's maybe because it's dead. Mm. And it's too expensive, it's way too top-heavy. There are many professors who are lecturing that shouldn't be. There's really no reason at all that the best lectures in the world can't be brought to bear on any given topic, given the technology that we have. So I think there's going to be a radical disruption in the higher education section, and Trump is obviously going to lead that to some degree, but I've tried to think through how the universities could rectify the position that they find themselves in, and I can't see a pathway forward for them, not really.
Well, that's bad news, Kat. However, they always bring up as an example the college that you went to, Hillsdale College.
Yeah, it's a lot different. They don't accept government funding there. It's much different. I overall tend to agree with what you said. I mean, and why now? Why would you even go to college at this point? Because you can say you did. I mean, there's much more fun ways to party yourself into debt, which is essentially what you're doing at a lot of these places, because You go and you spend, it's so expensive. You spend so much money to get this degree. You don't really learn anything in a lot of these programs. You're just kind of a number who sits there, okay, you get done with the 4 years, and you're like, okay, I got to get a job. And you try to find a job that can actually pay back this debt, and then you don't. And you're like, what do I do now? But everybody told me to go to college. When really, most of the learning you do is by living and reading, and there's so much information out there for you, you know.
In the old days, back when I was a young one, they referred to the MRS degree, right? You go there to meet your life partner. Problem is, everybody's so ugly on college campuses. They're all fat and hairy. They've like uglified themselves. It's like they've lost the idea of what is hot. Right? You see pictures.
That's the real crisis.
That's the, we have a crisis. I said this, make America hot
But
again.
that's not when you went to, you're talking about now when a pretty girl from the Midwest comes to Cal Berkeley. 3 days later, she shaved her head, has a leopard print tattoo on her head that says F the man across her chest. Yeah, that's a problem. Not as eloquent as you would put it, Doctor, but
To the point, though.
yes.
Yes, exactly.
Matt Gaetz cut a promo anti-abortion very similar to the one that you just laid out. Now, by the way, have we figured out that Gaetz and Rubio are from the same place? Rubio has resigned. If they don't put Gaetz, if the Senate doesn't let him through, all we need is DeSantis to put Gaetz as their co-worker in the Senate, which by law is a stamp of a piece of paper. Gaetz is going to be the Attorney General. You heard it here first. I know you heard that somewhere else. What I'm saying is the payment, if the Senate doesn't let him through.
I love
The
that.
Senate doesn't let him through. He becomes a senator, and they need to consider that.
You heard it from.
You can't get that.
I heard most of it. I get it, though, I think.
You got it.
All right. So you got a free segment in that segment. Up next, sit back and relax watching Lefty Hacks.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.